Hello and welcome back to this channel. Um, I just want to talk about something interesting. Let me just call it like some midnight random thoughts that happened to me yesterday night. Yeah, it was actually around midnight or thereabout. And this was very interesting because I found myself thinking about the Bible and the Word of God and the fact that the Israelites, whenever they had a problem, they used to run to Egypt. They'd cross all over from Middle East to Africa in Egypt. Like I think when there was famine, sometime when the children of Israel that just what they call Joseph and the family came, would go and buy food from Egypt. Like 3 or 4 times in the Bible it's been mentioned. And they would come all the way to Egypt to find refuge. Including when Jesus was born and that King Herod wanted to kill him. We are told that the angel of the Lord spoke to Joseph and told him, "Hey, Maze, kindly take up the baby and run." So they came all the way to Africa, take refuge until that king was no more. But what came to my mind is that the fact that the children of Israel came to Egypt for refuge when there was drought in their country, in their wherever they used to live. I don't think there were countries then, I'm not so sure. But they used to come all the way to Egypt. It's very interesting because it seemed to me like sometimes the places we find refuge also becomes the places where we find torment. Especially if you overstay in that place of refuge. And the fact that when Joseph brought his family and they grew in big numbers in Egypt, and it was a civilization then, and eventually the Egyptians started treating them as slaves. It means to me they overstayed in the place of refuge. Because sometimes when you overstay in a place of refuge, it can become a torment for you. And I want to equate that with the current day, with today, what happens today. And sometimes we run away from situations that we are in to places of refuge without having an end in mind. So we're just running away from problems. We're just running away without having in mind. What about if I run away from my shags because I cannot afford to take, to dig the shamba there and go to the city? What is the end goal of going to the city? Do I need to go back to Geshagi, or do I need to go back to shags or something like that? Or what happens? I'm trying to equate it to situations in life when you run away from something and where you go for refuge. After some time, it becomes the torment. Happens a lot. Because if you overstay in your place of refuge past the time that God intended you to be in that place of refuge, then it turns into an Egypt for you. It becomes a slave. I'll give you another example. You run away from a job, land into another one, and that job becomes, after some time, it becomes a torment. So what do? You actually need to leave it and go to some other place. And what this teaches me is that you have to have the ability to start all over again, afresh, in different places without fear. You can never overstay in one place unless it is your home. If you are in any other place that is not your home, you can never overstay. Place of work. If you're in a relationship with the wrong person, can't overstay in that relationship. I know that is controversial. That is very controversial, but it's true. You cannot overstay in the wrong relationship. You need to get out and go and find the right one. Yeah? So when you see the relationship going bad, don't wait to be cut into pieces. Run and go to some other place. So, places of refuge that turn into torment, those are called, I can call them your Egypt, your own Egypt. You run there when you're hungry, you settle down, you get fed up, but you overstay the place of refuge because that is not your destiny. Your destiny is somewhere else. So do not overstay in the temporary place that God had intended you to just take refuge and go to the next one. Do not overstay. If you feel it is time to move from a place of refuge, move and find the destiny you are supposed to have. Find your Canaan, where it is. Those are random thoughts that came to my mind at night, tonight, yesterday night, or, the morning of today, past midnight. The reason why the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt is because they overstayed. They overstayed in a place where they were not supposed to overstay. If they had found it right and not been comfortable and moved back to their land when famine was over, they would not have been turned into slaves. Think about your life. Is there a place or someone which was a place of refuge, which has now become the place of torment? It could be just be the time to move out. Could be the time to move on. Could be the time to japa. Run. Murife, run. Murife, run. Place of refuge turning into the place of torment. That is your Egypt. If you overstayed, run. Adios. I hope I've given you some value. If you've not subscribed to this channel, by the way, please do. Here we will talk about personal finances, personal growth, and any other topic that involves people living their life to the best of their ability. Otherwise, my name is Gishure Rungu. Have a pleasant day. And do not fear to share your random thoughts that happen at night when you are asleep and your brain is just going. Share them. Let's know them. You never know. They could be an inspiration to somebody out there. Adios. Bye.